Hello guys and welcome to my channel. My name is Pomzwiti, and the whole essence of this presentation is to bring people to speed about what has been happening in the HR world when it comes to recruiting people. Um, as you know, the world has become more competitive. It is becoming more and more challenging to find a job. But one thing I need to tell you is that you should never give up. Whatever you do, never should you give up. I know there are some people who might be saying, I've been applying, I've been sending application letters, I've been for sending my CV, my qualifications for some time now, and I've never, not even a single day, have I been called for an interview. But the most important part is that the more you keep trying, the more you learn one or two things. Someone once told me to say, you never lose anything by trying. So if you apply for a job today and you are not picked, you've not lost anything, but you've gained your self-confidence. Same as being called for a job interview and your friends are picked and you're not picked. It's a plus for me, really, it's a plus for me. So I've prepared something that I want us to go through. So before I go any further, the whole presentation, I'll be presenting it in series. So the first one, I'm going to look at how to write a cover letter. Then the second presentation, I'll talk about how to write a CV. The third presentation, I'll talk about how to apply for a job and what not to do during the application process. Then the fourth one, I'll talk about how to win a job interview. So guys, without wasting much of your time, let's go straight. I'm going to share some slides that I've been preparing for some time now. So let's go. So I've prepared something on tips on preparing a catchy cover letter / application letter. I'm going to explain in detail the difference between a cover letter and an application letter. So what is a cover letter? A cover letter is a written document commonly submitted with a job application. A cover letter explains the applicant's credentials and interests in the open position. So some people would say, what's the difference between a cover letter and an application letter? Well, we are coming to that. So I just wanted you to have a clear picture of what a cover letter is. So a good cover letter complements the resume and explains why the candidate in question is the ideal person for the job. That's a cover letter and not an application letter. We're talking about a cover letter here, but I'm going to talk to briefly talk about an application letter. But specifically for this presentation, I'm only talking about a cover letter. What is an application letter? This is a standalone document that can be submitted to a potential employer to express one's interest in an open position. It explains who you are both as a professional and as an individual. So mainly an application letter, you can write an application letter for a position that has not yet been advertised for. You can write an application letter to a company that has not advertised for any jobs. That is an application letter. But you can't write a cover letter to a company that has not advertised, or you've not been taught to write to apply for a job. So you can write an application letter, in short, to just explain yourself, um, give the recruiters, give the organization what you can do, explain yourself what you can do, what you are capable of doing, so that when the time comes for them to recruit or to employ, they'll put you into consideration. So let's move to now the difference between an application letter and a cover letter. So any job seeker must be able to differentiate between a cover letter and an application letter, though both documents are used in the same circumstances, same environment, same situation. So an application letter, this one has a broader description of the job applicant and includes details such as the applicant's experience, job history, strengths, weaknesses, salary expectations, and so on and so forth. The cover letter acts as a summary of your resume and serves to introduce you to the interviewer. So a cover letter is just a summary of your CV, in short. So there are some most significant differences between a cover letter and application letter that each one of you should know. So a cover letter acts as a summary, just like I'm saying. It acts as a summary of the job seeker's resume, whereas the application letter has a detailed information on the job seeker's skills and abilities. An application letter reviews the applicant's skills, qualifications, strengths, and skills, while a cover letter will bear the candidate's contacts and a brief highlight why the candidate is the best for the position, while ignoring in-depth details. An application letter can act as a standalone document, while a cover letter should be accompanied by a resume to qualify as a full application package. So, another thing to note is that when you are writing an application letter, you can send it as it is. Why? Because you've put everything in your application letter. You can send it as it is. There's no need to attach your CV to an application letter. But when an advert says send a cover letter, that's when now you are supposed to attach your CV. That's the difference. An application letter is a standalone document during a job application, showcasing why the applicant is suitable. A cover letter is just a summary of a resume. Okay, let's move on. When can one use an application letter? I've already talked about this. Employers usually request job applicants to send a cover letter and a resume when applying for a job. You will hardly find an employer. I have never seen where an employer asks you for an application letter as the way to apply for a job. Application letters are less common in job applications these days. So the most appropriate time to use an application letter is when you're applying for a job that hasn't been advertised, just like I mentioned earlier. So you can send an application letter to several potential employers as a way of introducing yourself to them. So what an application letter, what are some of the components that are found in an application letter? So when writing your application letter, you must include detailed information on your education background and work history. Skills gained and your achievements at each job should be highlighted in the application letter. It is also advisable to organize your application letter with bullets and subheadings to allow recruiters to skim through easily. When should one use a cover letter? So this works in introducing you to your potential employer and should accompany your CV in every job application. In cases where you are attending a prearranged interview, you only need to have your resume. Since you introduce yourself. But in an event where you are supposed to apply for a job first, you need to send a cover letter and your resume. A cover letter is going to introduce you and your resume. So the employer is going to read through your cover letter first before coming to your resume. They're going to have a picture of what kind of a person they will be dealing with in the interview before they can even get to your CV. And when you get to your CV, you have at least maybe 30% imagination of what kind of a person you are. So a cover letter includes um, 3 to 4 paragraphs, and it acts as a summary to the resume, just like I've mentioned. So when writing the cover letter, you assume the recipient will get details from your resume. They will not just end at reading through your cover letter. You assume to say they will check out your resume, they'll check out your CV. So the cover letter will portray how your academic qualifications and previous work experience make you suitable for the position at hand. So before you do anything, before you even write a cover letter for any job, you have to read and understand the job requirements for the specific position, then use the cover letter to explain how your qualifications and work experience relate to the qualifications. You don't just wake up and start writing a cover letter. You need to read through. That is why you can never have one cover letter for any job, one cover letter for every job that you come across. When drafting a cover letter, you need to have understood what the job requirements are. That's when you have to sit down and write your cover letter. Same applies to your CV. You cannot have one CV for every job. You can only have one CV for one job. So, in short, what I'm trying to say is that each time you come across a job advert, you have to read through the job advert and understand what the requirements are, what qualifications are they looking for. Then you go back to your drawing board, you go back to your CV, you start editing, you start deleting some of the stuffs from your CV, you start adding certain stuff, certain things on your CV. So you cannot have one cover letter for every job that you come through. So let's go to how to write. So first, I'm going to share a link where I'm going to share a copy of a cover letter. Since we've talked about how to write a cover letter, now we're going to want to talk about. We've talked about what a cover letter is, and so I'm going to share a template with you on how to write a cover letter. I'm going to drop my in the description. I'm going to drop my email address. So when you are interested, you want to know how to write your cover letter, to draft your cover letter, just hit me up using my email address, and yeah, I will definitely be of help. Or in an event where you want me to talk about anything relating to job hunting, just hit me up using my email address, which I'm going to which I've dropped in the description box. Then we'll be good to go. Thank you. Let's move on. Move on to how to write an email cover letter. This is now this one is now where you've prepared your CV. Now the organization that you're applying for has not asked you to send a CV and a cover letter. They've only asked you to send an application with your CV. Are you getting? So there are two distinctions here. The first one is an advert asking you to send a cover letter and a CV. So these two have to be typed. Whichever way, you can use Microsoft's Word. Some companies will request you to convert it to PDF and things like that. So if the advert is asking you to send them your cover letter and your CV, it means that you are going to attach two files to your email, two files to your mail, which is a copy of your CV and a copy of your cover letter. We've talked about that cover letter. Now, it's the one that I'm going to, the one that you can request even through my email address. So now we're going to talk about how to write an email cover letter. What do I mean if I say an email cover letter? This is the cover letter that you type on your when you log into your Gmail, to your Yahoo, to your what, when you are composing um, an email, you're composing a mail. That is the one I'm talking about. So how do we go about this? So the first step is to include a salutation. You need to figure out the name of the hiring manager. I mean, it doesn't always, it changes everything when you address the application letter, the application to the name of the hiring manager. Instead of you saying, "Dear sir," "Dear madam," you say, "Dear Mr. Chanda," or you say, "Mr. Chanda." You get the point. It carries more weight. So it is a very small detail that makes a huge difference. Just the name of the hiring manager. It shows the hiring manager that you care about the opportunity enough to figure out, enough to even find time to carry out a research so that you can know whom to address the letter to. It is better than using "Dear hiring manager" or "to whom it may concern." Never should you write in your application as "to whom it may concern." Point number 2, you need to write the first paragraph. You need to write the first paragraph of your letter. This is where you will mention the job for which you are applying for and how you found the job listing. It only needs to be, for me, I only write 1 to 2 sentences in length. Just 1 to 2 sentences in length. I am writing to inquire about possible openings in your company for a research assistant. I'm interested in a senior level position offering the opportunity for travel and advanced research assignments. Just like that, it's done. It's done. Your first paragraph is done. You move to your second paragraph, where you mention your relevant experiences and qualifications. This is the main body now, the second paragraph. So my cover letter only has about 3 or 4 paragraphs. Whatever you do, don't overwhelm the hiring manager or use up a great deal of their time. Always make sure to talk about why you think you are a qualified candidate for that position. What work experience do you think you have that fits the listed job requirements? So, like I said earlier, that after reading through the job advert, you need to now match it with your CV. You need to go back to your drawing board and edit your CV. So, what tangible actions and improvements do you think you could make in this role? What change do you think you're going to bring to this role? What change do you think you're going to bring to this department, to this organization? An example is there. As a professional administrative assistant with excellent research skills, I'm eager to contribute my abilities and experience to your company. Given my extensive training and background, I believe I can help this company ABC company meet its goal of providing only the most accurate and timely information to its clients. As simple as that. You are done. That's the main body. You are done. You go to the second paragraph. This is where you thank them in advance. You also provide your contacts. So this will be where you wrap up and discuss how you will proceed with the application. This is now a chance to sum up your letter, emphasizing why you would be great in this position, like I've earlier mentioned. You also want to talk about how you proceed with your application before thanking the manager for their time and signing off. Please find enclosed my resume and a list of my references. Feel free to call me. You put your number there to arrange a time to meet. I look forward to hearing from you. As simple as that. End your cover letter with a respectful closing statement. Please find enclosed my resume and a list of my references. Feel free to call me at, there's a number there to arrange a time to meet. I look forward to hearing from you. Sincerely. You can use sincerely. You can use kind regards. Since this is an electronic kind of job application, so you're not going to sign there. So you're going to put your full names there. You can use best or sincerely are both classic options. Also, since you won't be able to sign, like I've mentioned, just type your full names. So I've reached the end of my presentation on how to write a cover letter. Just like I've mentioned, make sure you hit me up using my email address. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, where I'll keep sharing a lot of tips on how to get a job, to win job interviews in like the way things are right now. It is really hard to get a job, and almost everyone really needs such tips for them to get a job. So my next presentation will be about how to write a CV. Don't forget to subscribe, to hit the subscription button and hit the notifications button, so that each time I upload a new video, you get to be the first one to watch the video. Don't also forget to hit me up through my email to request for a sample of my cover letter. Thank you very much, and goodbye for now.